Perspective Class 9 Video 2. In this video we're going to do some examples involving central projection. So let's first remind ourselves of the definition, the formula for central projection. So you can project onto three different types of plane, like an x equals d plane, a y equals d plane, or a z equals d plane. And what you do in all of the cases is you times by d and you divide by whatever letter you chose. So if it's an x equals d plane, you divide everything by x. If it's a y equals d plane, you divide everything by y. And if it's a z equals d plane, you divide everything by z. So these are the formulas which you should know. So let's go straight to an example. This example says, centrally project the following points onto the x equals 2 plane. So importantly, x equals 2 plane, okay? And plot the results. So let's do this. 3, 5, 6. So I'll write it out nice and slow. This gets mapped to what? Well, what is d in this case? We know that it's an x equals 2 plane, so that means we know that we're using this formula right here. Okay, but what is d? Well, in this case, d is equal to 2, and that comes from right here. So that means this is going to go to 2 times 1, 5 over 3, 6 over 3, and this turns out to be 2, 10 over 3, 4. And that's the answer. Let's move on to the second one. So 4 minus 4, 1. D is 2. I have 1 minus 4 divided by 4, 1 divided by 4, which is 2 minus 2, a half. This next one, 3 minus 6, 6. This goes to 2. 1 minus 6 divided by 3, 6 divided by 3, which is 2 minus 4, 4. And finally, the last one, 2, 1, 2, goes to 2 times 1, 1 over 2, 2 over 2, which is 2, 1, 2. Notice that for the last one, nothing actually changed. The answer is the same as the original point. And this is because the x-coordinate is already 2. For this last point, it's already on the viewing plane. Like this point here is already sitting on the x equals 2 viewing plane. And if it's already there, then it doesn't move at all. Okay. So let's plot these points quickly. So you just draw coordinate axes, something like this, and this is going to be the x equals 2 plane, which means that this is going to be y, this is going to be z. I'll label the axes a little bit. Okay, so let's get to work plotting these points. This first point here, I'm already on the x equals 2 plane, so ignore the 2. So I'm plotting 10 thirds, comma a fourth. Well, 10 thirds is like 3 and a quarter. So it's 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 10 thirds is like 3 and a third. So that's 1, 2, 3 and a third, and then up 4. So that's that point right there. This next point, minus 2, comma a half. So it's minus 2, comma a half. So that's this point right here. This next one, minus 4, comma 4. That's this point right here. And finally, 1, comma 2. So that's 1, comma 2. That point right there. I will say it's not 100% necessary most of the time if your diagram is clear, but to be extra safe, it's probably a good idea to label the points you've plotted. Like in terms of making sure that you get full marks on exams, I'd recommend labeling all of your plotted points. Okay, so this is minus 4, comma 4, like that. So I've plotted all these points on the x equals 2 plane. Let's do another example. This time, this example says centrally project this point onto the following planes, and the planes are the things that are changing this time. So the first plane is going to be the x equals 3 plane. So I'm going to project this point onto the x equals 3 plane. So in particular, it means that d is equal to 3 in this case. So I have 4, 6, 12 gets mapped to 3 times 1, 6 over 4, 12 over 4, which is going to be equal to 3 times 9 over 2, 9. Now I'm going to do it onto the y equals 2 plane. So this time I need to use the different formula, right? If I quickly scroll to this formula box, now I'm considering a y equals d plane. So I use this formula right here. Okay, so I have 4, 6, 12. This time it's going to get mapped to 2 times, now I do the x coordinate divided by the y coordinate. So 4 divided by 6, comma 1, 12 divided by 6, which is equal to 4 over 3, 2, 4. And finally the z equals 2 plane. So I use the different formula. 4, 6, 12 gets mapped to d is 2 in this case, and I do the x coordinate divided by the z coordinate. So that's 4 divided by 12, the y coordinate divided by the z coordinate, and then 1. And if you work this out, this is 2/3, 1, 2. Okay, so here are your answers. One quick sanity check you can apply when you're doing these sort of questions is, if the question says project onto the x equals 3 plane, then the x coordinate better be 3. Right? If it says x equals 3, then the x coordinate better be 3. If it says y equals 2, then the y coordinate better be 2. And if it says z equals 2, then the z coordinate better be 2. Okay? If this isn't true, then you've gone wrong somewhere. So that's the end of this example, and that's the end of this video.